Hello and welcome back to Minecraft Monday on Nyxus Gaming. Now, I've showed you guys Hyrule and that Fallout map. Today I figured I'd take a step back and show you guys a little bit of my own world here, my own creative world that I've done a bit of stuff on. That being said, there is a lot of stuff, so without ado, let's get going. I've started us off at the main center point of the map, which I like to call the Mage Plaza. The idea is that basically there's these four mages that kind of watch over the world. There are other mages, but these are the four main ones really. You have the green mage who lives in the tree there, you have the blue and the red mage, and you have the white mage there. And you have this little centerpiece here. They all kind of guard this end portal, which may or may not have something very important in it. Who knows? We're gonna start off by going into the grasslands here, all the green mage territory. If we follow this wall, I'll go into what the wall is about later. I'm getting a little bit of lag here as the world loads. It is a very big world, so I actually did a lot of this editing for the world in a program called World Painter, so none of this is natural terrain really. But here we got a little campsite for the main military of the grasslands, which I call the Legion. I'm just gonna come in here, put some settings down, that way it runs a little bit better. And we can go ahead and lower the chunks, I guess, to about half. I usually play on the settings that were there, but whenever I record, it seems to get a little choppy, so I'm just gonna lower it down, and hopefully that fixes it. So yeah, like I said, got a little campsite here that the Legion stays at to kind of monitor the desert there. And if you follow this path, we have the first of a few farms that I have dotted around the grasslands. This one is probably my favorite out of them all, and it's more well known because it has the lumber mill. I guess it supplies the rest of the grasslands with wood and stuff, so I really like how that turned out. I like the windmill, got a little carriage here. And this house, it was really experimental when I made it. I'm also gonna turn down the music a little bit. In fact, let's no, I won't get rid of it, but turn it down to about 10. But yeah, this house was very experimental, kind of oddly shaped. I don't think it turned out terrible. I don't think I would use this shape again though. Sorry about that. Yeah, before we head down that path, we're gonna follow the river down, because we will actually pass another one of the farms here. Now, these next two farms aren't nearly as big as that one. They're really small, kind of basic. We got this one here that's on this nice little island I made in the river. The river's actually supposed to go that way into a swamp area, but I never really made that part, so it kind of ends there. But yeah, we got this little house here. Grows pumpkins, melons, and sugarcane. Not too bad. That's one thing I didn't like about this world generation, though. All the random patches of stone and stuff. I'm sure if I really learned how to do it, I could get rid of that, but for the most part, I am satisfied on how this all turned out. On the left here, we're going to be passing the main town in the grasslands, which I will get to in a little bit after I explore the rest of this river and what is north of it. That town, I'm going to warn you, I got a little lazy partway through it. So, oh shit, that's not the command. That's the command. There we go. But yeah, I got a little lazy through it, so it doesn't look great. I am actually in the process of rebuilding it though, so I'll show you guys that at the end of the tour. This is the next farm here. This one was supposed to be more of an exotic one because whenever I built this, beetroot was kind of a new thing. So I felt like it would be cool to have a farm that just sells beetroot and have it be more exotic compared to the others in the main town. But yeah, again, not too big a farm. We have a big lake here, which kind of separates the grasslands town and the mountains, which I'm going into next. Now I have two big mountains here. Both of them are actually modeled after a couple bases I had in a couple different servers. This first one here was on a faction server, and we were like the biggest faction on the server. It was kind of a peaceful server overall. But yeah, we put a lot of work into this mountain here. I originally came up here with my cousin. We built a little, really crappy house on top of it that we ended up dubbing the Shit Shack. But we never tore it down during the whole span of the server. It was there all the time. So I built a little homage to it here, just a rundown wooden shack here. Beware, cursed shack, it has skulls and webs in here. Just a nice little reference. Most of this stuff is pretty spot on for what was actually in the mountain. So yeah, we came up here, we built the house. I put a lot of time into making a lava crater on top. Don't ask me why, I thought it looked cool. And it did actually attract some other people to the server too. Or to the faction in general. Don't ask me why I'm fixing that, but I am. But yeah, that's how our faction started growing. A lot of people joined us. This little nether portal wasn't here originally. Why is the music still so loud? Come on. I'm about to just get rid of it. 1%. There we go. But yeah, that nether portal wasn't there. I built that with this iteration of the mountain because I thought it kind of looked cool. And it gave more of a purpose to the lava crater because there wasn't any real purpose or anything on it during the server. I'll tell you though, we had a little shop over here that we sold potions at. If you're part of the faction, you could head down and get into the main base. If you weren't part of the faction, you could actually take a fire resistance potion and dive down in here, and you could get in yourself. No one ever figured it out, but we had our faction open the whole time. Let's see, what else? We had a little building down here that to this day I have no idea who built it. Kind of just a little mystery building. But I rebuilt a better one on this iteration just to kind of reference it. We had a little hangout area in this part of the mountain with a bunch of adult themes to it that I won't get into. And yeah, the whole wall around the mountain, that wasn't me. I never built that. That was another faction member. We had issues figuring out how to connect the top part of the wall with the bottom part. So originally the wall came up this part of the mountain here, and we connected it to the tower here, which then went down and connected to the actual wall down here. So I kind of did my best to redo that. The giant lava fall here came a bit later. And the face here was a design of one of our allies that I liked, so I rebuilt it there. And yeah, the little tower here, I built that. That was there with this spire. This entryway was not here before. Like I said, you either got in through the shop here or through the crater. But I built it here because I felt like it looked a lot better. And we had a big room right under the crater, similar to this one. We had a farm in one side. I didn't put it here, but we did have a library in one side, similar to this that you see here. If we follow down, I added these little lava tubes. I felt like that was a nice touch. But we had little ladder chutes like that. I built a little throne room here. At one point, they did build me a little throne hidden in the mountain, but it wasn't nearly as grand as that. I touched it up a bit. Here's like the main sleeping area of whoever owns the throne. I added in a little secret here for the mountain's vault. Because, I mean, you can't have a mountain fortress without a vault full of gold, right? So that's where that is. I think it's raining again, so I'll have to turn that off when I go outside. But I'll just continue here, go back out, and back up the chute. If we head down this one, we get into where all the living rooms were. That thunder was a little bit loud. But yeah, these are all basically just living quarters, similar to how we had them when we were on the server. The main difference is all of those rooms were actually a lot deeper. They were probably just below this ground area down here. But they're laid out pretty much the same as that. We didn't really have this courtyard area here. I added that. But other than that, the shape and everything is almost exactly the same, a lot of the same buildings. I feel like it's a very faithful reproduction. This was a different mountain on a different server that I don't think I ever finished. So a lot of this is new to this iteration. But I like the shape of this mountain in general. So I wanted to include it with this one. And I'll go over why I wanted to put multiple mountains here with different bases, but after I show you around this. So my main idea, the first mountain is more of a residential mountain. This one's more of a military mountain. You have this little outlook here to the snowy lands there. I'll show the front of that here in a second after I get out. But yeah, like I said, this is more of a military mountain. You have a bunch of armor stands and presumably weapon chests here. Staircase going up, but if you go into here, you got the main armory. And go up here, this is just another way up. There's a staircase there. This is the war room. People meet. I think I was going to put a map up here, but I never got to it. And this is the main courtyard where they do all their training. You got training dummies, archery practice, a little sparring arena, a forge. If you come out onto this little outcropping here, you have an enchantment table. And you can come up here. You got a little pond here that originally had a waterfall that went down to there. But it got kind of unruly at the bottom, as you can see, so I blocked it off. Not too bad, I'll probably fix it up later. And if you come to the top, you have a little lookout point up here, which I feel like kind of ties it all together, really. So, the main idea here, in the original server with this mountain, there were two other decent-sized mountains that looked nice, dotted around. And our allies actually took over the other two mountains, and we made a big town in the middle of it. So that's the kind of idea I was going with here. I need to add a third mountain, of course, and then build the actual town. But yeah, I was kind of trying to remake that along with this mountain. Never quite got to it though. These mountains were a lot of work. Both of them were. Because I had to world edit the correct shape in and remember all the right buildings and build them all and dig into the mountain. A lot of work went into those two, and I'm proud of how they turned out. It was definitely worth all the work. But yeah, if we cross the lake here, we'll get into this town I was speaking of. And like I said, I got a bit lazy with this town halfway through, so it doesn't look great. I think I started with the fountain here, which looks nice. I went into the marketplace, which isn't a bad little marketplace. I built the inn here. Now I did steal this design, I know that. But the inn looks nice. You have the tavern here, which is kind of oddly shaped because I put in this little awning here. But if you cut that off, the tavern isn't a bad little tavern. And I put these three little buildings here. They were supposed to be small. One's like a post office. One's like something else. I can't remember. But they were supposed to be small. That's not a big deal. We get into the main living houses here. And I kind of just copy pasted this one. You can tell I'm starting to get lazy there. And the poor houses over here, all of them are all pretty small. Of course, they're poor. They're supposed to be like that. And there is some variation between them, so not too lazy there. But this is where it really started setting in. I wanted a big temple surrounding a big tree, kind of worshipping the green mage. And you see the tree here. I didn't build the tree, I just planted a dark oak tree and grew it. And I just built a really shitty temple around it. Yeah, definitely started getting lazy there. I came over here, I built this big flower embassy. The main idea with this world was that flowers are sentient creatures. So this is kind of where they congregate. And the only big thing I wanted to do with this building was include this stained glass window here. I mean, the overall shape of it is a little weird, but it's not terrible. But you can tell I got lazy with just these plain white walls here. Not looking too good. And the castle, man. The castle here I am not proud of at all. Like, it's just a big flat building that connects to the library that doesn't look terrible. But definitely could use some work. And it connects to the guard barracks over there, which can definitely use some work. So yeah, not proud of the castle at all. Put a little hedge maze here. That's not bad. And the arena here, basic arena. I think the new one looks a lot better. I'll show you guys the new stuff at the end of the video. But yeah, overall, I'm not too proud of this town. That's why I started with it when I'm doing the rebuilds. It connects to the docks here, which I think I had a renewed sense of building when I did this, because a lot of the buildings do look a lot better. Like, I like this one here in particular. I like the ranch house here, and I like the barn. Definitely looks a lot better than the stuff in the actual town. I think I stole the designs for the boats here because I am not good at building boats or ships. Those look nice. This tower here just looks terrible. I hate it. And we got stables here right outside the main entrance. Not too bad, but it could be better. And yeah, that basically does it for the town here. I have 2 more faces on the front here. And yeah, the wall, that's another thing I don't like about it. The wall is just a super awkward shape. Super awkward. I don't like that. And I tried to remedy that in the new design for the town. The new town's going to be a lot bigger, like a lot bigger. And I've already started building some of the main stuff in it. The castle's done, the arena's done, the temple's done, and I started work on the library, just never finished it. But yeah, it's looking a lot better so far. I like it. If we follow the road over here, we'll find the road that I think we passed the road that connects to the farm over there. But this is another old design of mine, an old fort that I made in a few different servers. Took a lot of smooth stone for the stone brick. But every time I've built it, it's gotten some kind of upgrade in some way, changed the design. I don't think this indent was here originally. It was just a big square on the inside. This back room here wasn't there. I kind of turned that into an armory vault type thing. And yeah, it's just gotten better every time I build it. I don't mind the design overall. I feel like it could be more detailed. That might be what happens next time I rebuild it. Put some detail on it. And yeah, we're almost done with the grasslands. If we follow this road over here, I like the design of this town a lot. I feel like it could be bigger though. That's my main gripe with it. This is a little pirate town of sorts. You know, as soon as you get to the gate, you see skulls all around it. You see gallows here, because, you know, you gotta hang some of those unruly pirates. And the lighthouse here, I like the lighthouse. I actually reused this design on a server recently, so you can tell I like it. You have 4 battlements posted around the bay area where they kind of shoot out in. They're aimed at different spots. You see the cannons here. And I kind of built it in 2 tiers. You have the bottom tier here with the actual port. I can't remember if I stole this design or built this myself. I'm leaning towards that I stole the design for the ship, because I don't think I could build one this good. But I shouldn't have put this ship here in this port, because all these other ones are on an odd amount. This one here is an even amount. Jesus Christ, this rain, dude. But this one's on an even one, which is why the ship kind of looks off-center, because it is off-center. Oh well. You got a little crane house here for loading and unloading on the ships. And if you come up to the 2nd tier here, we have a little outpost for the Legion that's based in this town. Got a little training yard. We have a storage area here with TNT, wheat, and coal in it. A little tavern area in here. I like how that building turned out. And you have kind of the main building for the pirates here. Not too much in it. And last but not least, you have a little cave here where they throw people in the brig. Looks like they have a bat in there right now. Be free, little bat boy. He probably won't be free. But yeah, I like the design of all the buildings here. I just feel like it could be bigger, but if you look at it from afar, it really doesn't look bad at all. I enjoyed building it, and it looks pretty good. I should probably, if I were going to add to this, I'd put more like residential houses around, because there's really not any of that here. You know, it's just a pirate town. They come here. They don't actually live here. That's what it is at the moment. They just pass through, I guess, and I don't like that. I want some more residential houses. But yeah, that does it for the grasslands. Next, we're going to head out into the ocean. And I think if we head out right about this point, it's going to be a little bit of flying, but we should come to our next destination. This next one goes to, how I said all the flowers are kind of sentient in the world. A lot of them are allied with each other, but these ones in particular, they're kind of the warmongering flowers. They're the daisies, and they're isolated in the ocean. And you'll see when I go into their main base here that they have some different things they do in here. This is it right here, kind of a resort island. You see the giant daisy here. I like the design of this building. I feel like either it's too big for the island or the island's too small for it. So in the future, I'll probably make the island bigger, because I think there's just enough inside. Like, I can't make this building any smaller. We got a lighthouse over there. I don't think there's anything important in it. They have a tennis court on top and a rooftop pool, clock tower here. All guests, please sign in here. If you come over here, you have little guest rooms dotted around. But the daisies themselves, they don't use the guest rooms. They have just little rooms with full of pots here. I don't know why the cactus, oh god, I messed that up. Just gonna leave that there. I don't know why there are cacti in a bunch of them. That's new to me. I don't think I would have put them here, but here's like the main hall area, I guess, where they kind of congregate and just have fun. If we continue around a little bit, you have a courtyard garden area here. You head down. They have a little underwater railway here connecting themselves to the underwater city that we'll get to. This little cave here, it just connects down to that railway. We're gonna head back into the building though. Go upstairs. You got more just guest rooms dotted around. I think this one's here. This one here is a little bathroom, I think. Counter, seat, and like a shower area. I think it's been a while since I built all this. We'll head over here. I don't think there's anything too important in this wing of the building. You got another pot room here that they all rest in. This leads to the balcony over the hall. And I think this was like a little meeting room. I'm not sure. If we head over here, this is where we see the interesting stuff. Down here, like I said, they're a very warmongering flower species. Come into this room, you have kind of tactical plants here, the cocoa beans which you can bounce up, the leaves which form a wall, the sugar cane. There is that rain again. God damn. In the new world, I'm probably just going to turn the rain off completely. I had a few issues in this world where lightning struck and burned down parts of the forest. And that is no bueno. But anyways, yeah, you got sugarcane, camouflage, and lily pad bridges. And vine ladders. Basically them experimenting with what they can do with plants. Head down into here. They have their own little, like, robots, I guess. They ride around in the pots on top. You got the first one here, just a jack-o'-lantern. You have the lit model, which provides a light for them. And you have the dispenser module, which if you really wanted to, you could fill up with arrows, E, and boom. Boom. There we go. It's weaponized now. And you have the latest model, much bigger, a four-legged walker. They come up here, get themselves in through the top there, and this is like a tank basically for them. They ride around, and it is the latest module. I really like how that turned out. I gave it nether brick fencing here, so maybe it can walk through lava, I don't know. Although that wouldn't really work out with the pumpkin, maybe. It's still an experimental design. We'll call it that. They're still working on it. And of course they have prison cells. It's a very dark part of the building. You have their main computer room that I guess they surveil something on. Who knows? These guys are a mystery to me. But yeah, that's kind of the daisies and their island here. We'll work our way out. This just leads up to the main roof here. You can come in here. And I got a library up in this part of the clock tower. And that's about it. So next, we're going to follow the railway here. There's going to be a few different destinations on the way to the underwater city. The first of which should come up on the right up here. It is a natural Minecraft spawn. It's an ocean temple that I wanted to incorporate somehow into the world. So I built a little station stop here. Let's go ahead and dive down. I have the side of it blasted open. Like maybe some kind of accident happened here, maybe involving the ocean temple. But yeah, this is all the station is here. Just come up, take a stop here, go to the temple if you want, or head forward. Nothing too special there. We'll go ahead and continue following this ocean line. We got a turn here. We have a little hill there that just has a little cave in it that I was thinking about putting a guardian nest in. And we have a wrecked ship down here right next to the city. You see the sail down there, two halves of the ship, and I think that's the crow's nest broken in half right there. I like how that looks there, and I feel like I should put more of those around the ocean, because I like that. You see the rail down there has another hole in it, maybe from the Guardians there. But yeah, this here is the underwater city with one lighthouse on top. Clearly inspired by one of my favorite games, BioShock. There's always a lighthouse and a man, right? But anyways, you head into the lighthouse. I'm gonna point out some of these buildings from the top first. You got the main castle fort area where the leader is. You have a sort of arena here for all the events. All of these are the regular residential houses. Each one of them has their own farm on top for their own food. You have a big church area here. I think one of these, that's a welcome center, and that is a little inn area. And they have a bunch of recreational stuff over here. I think one's a museum, one's an art museum, one's a little band playing area. And I can't remember what the fourth one is, or what that one is. We'll check it out when we get down there. We just drop down through here. That's another hole in the side here. Something is just wreaking havoc in this city. I can't imagine what it is. I had to break that because I didn't have these open for me to get out, but they're open now. And yeah, if we look this way, we can go into the main castle area. I like how the inside of this place turned out too. Looks very nice. Come over here. We have the welcome center here, kind of barren. Over here we have the tavern inn area. And let's see. This is the station area to go on to the other places. This is one of the museums here. You got golden apples, nether bricks, ender eyes, a broken record. And this exhibit here, some mysterious mannequin in iron armor and a wither skull. You got a book and a sword. Book of the Ancients. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. I don't know what I was thinking with that, but that's there. This is the house. I didn't know what it was. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know now. This is like a spa area. You have like the men's side there and the women's side here. Yeah. Like I said, a lot of recreational stuff. This here, oh my god. This is definitely against violations here. This is the art museum I told you about. I guess it's a little dark, so got a bunch of bats in it. We come around here. This is the band area here. I think I made each of these a different instrument. Bass. Oops. And that's clearly the drum set. And that's the guitar there. And that's just a regular jukebox. So yeah, that's like the musical area. And over here we have a library. A library. Very boring. And I think, I mean, I can show you guys the temple area over here. I don't think there's much inside it. Oh, there's some stuff inside it. I got some more stained glass windows. Big assembly here. A bunch of these flowers, the orchids, they live on the ocean floor, I guess. And this is their main place of gathering. I don't know what I was thinking with the stained glass here, but I did something with it. And I can show you guys, I guess, one of these buildings here, the residential ones. I guess you have a nice little cooking area here. Come up. Storage area. And their main farm here. Nothing too special. I didn't really work on the insides of buildings too much. So that's why I've been kind of avoiding them. So most of those are gonna look like that. And I think the only other thing I have left to show you guys here is the Colosseum. You have horses here for any events taking place that might need horses. Don't ask me how they got them down here, but here it is. You have the a track going around and the main inside area. This connects to the horses. There's a pig in there for some reason. And you have this building here. A little archery area. And yeah, that about does it for the Raptured inspired underwater area. I'm definitely satisfied with how this one turned out. But I feel like I'll be able to do a lot more with it. I'll go out here. I'm going to be able to do a lot more with it in the next update whenever I can actually... they're going to extend the world height and it's going to go down a lot deeper. I can make the ocean a lot deeper. And I can have like different towers and stuff connecting to each other. More like actual Rapture, you know? And I would love that. But yeah, that does it for there. We're going to go ahead and head back to the Mage Plaza. It should be in this direction. We're going to pass another ocean temple that I left untouched. I might do something with it. I don't know. It might be cool to have like a north and a south ocean temple. This rain is relentless, dude. This rain is relentless. There is the Mage Tower there in the distance. And that is half the world there. We are almost done. I'm going to tell you I don't really have anything in the lava area right now. I think that's where I stopped building on it. But yeah, now we're going into the desert. The desert people don't worship any of these mages. And they're a very technological people. They've built an entire wall all the way around the desert and isolated themselves. And there's a bunch of different inventions that you'll only find here in the desert. They have like a little entry building here if you're entering from the plaza. They have these street lamps here that could turn on at night, which I don't think I put in any other area. And they have this big wall of cannons here to help them defend from the lava seas there. And it is a big, big wall. They must feel really threatened from the lava seas there. The other thing about the desert is it's more of a connected area. Everything connects to each other. And I mean, not just in a sense that it's connected by roads. Everything relies on each other. So here we have, sorry, here we have the first outpost I was going to show you. This is more of a military outpost here. You have the station here for their railways. And this is where they do all the maintenance on the cannon line. You have a guard tower here. These are all the barracks buildings here where people stay while they're stationed here. You got little rooms. Now for some reason, the beds aren't showing up. These are beds, red beds, but they aren't showing up. I'm not sure why, but yeah, that's the barracks there. You'll see these buildings dotted around in various places, even in other areas, because I just reused the design. I made all the windows in the desert open because I feel like they would want the airflow. And this is probably my favorite part of this outpost here. It's where they put all their old cannon designs, i.e. it's where I put my cannon collection. So starting off, we got the Alpha Cannon here, which I believe is the earliest TNT cannon you could ever make in Minecraft. It doesn't have dispensers, it doesn't have the slabs, it doesn't have any fancy stuff in it. Over here we have the Piston Reloader Cannon, which basically uses gravel and pistons to reload itself after it fires. Similar to that, it'll fire off a shot here and reload using the gravel. I think it is empty there. At that point you have to reload it. Of course, that's not all of its charges. Oh dear. Oh dear. I appear to have broken it. I was never there. Over here, we have the dispenser cannon, which is the one you see along all the walls here. I feel like it's probably the most common cannon in Minecraft right now. But it's not a bad design. It has some distance. Over here we have the compact dispenser cannon, for when you just need to make something small. It doesn't shoot very far, but it is small and it does work. Are these loaded? These aren't loaded. Cool. Yeah, you just fire it off and it works. Here we have a minecart reloading cannon, which it's kind of complicated, honestly. I don't know why you would ever want to make this, but it's here. You turn this, if you flip the button here, it's good for one use. It'll fire one piece. Just send the cart over, load the cannon, and shoot it off. If you hit the switch here, it'll just keep going and keep going and keep firing. So I like that aspect of it. I think you load the TNT into here, and it'll just go and go. Over here, one of my favorite designs, the simple cannon. All you do is you put TNT here, 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 and here. Step on this pressure plate, it ignites these 3 blocks here and fires this 4th block off into the distance. Very simple, yet effective. It does kind of look phallic in nature, though. This rain, dude. This rain. At the end, I'm gonna look and see how many times I've cleared the rain. It's Jesus Christ, it's a lot. And over here we have the last cannon in my collection. A personal favorite of mine. It's the pulverizer. And it's called the pulverizer because, well, it's very loud, but every time it pushes a block out, it's throwing TNT out, just repeatedly and repeatedly. I like it. I really do. The only other building I have here is a little cantina building, where I guess people rest and eat their meals and stuff while they're stationed here. You'll see that building return too. This is the station area. You can follow the rail back to the main town area. The center of the desert, the capital I guess, built around an oasis. You have the station. I can't remember what this building is here exactly. I think it was just kind of a showcase building. The observer block here was new at the time that I built it, so I just slammed it down. We have a desert temple here. I wanted to incorporate that into the build. So maybe this is their place of worship for the yellow mage. Who knows? You have a guard tower. This is kind of a community hall, if that makes sense. People come here, they hang out. There are extra beds here if they need it. And there's even a roof area that they can just look out over the town with. Over here, I think this is just a building yard, scrap yard type thing. Because they have different pieces here. They have pistons, redstone blocks, slime, and just a pile of various redstone related items. And I put a bunch of flying machines here for some reason. Different models that you can build that'll basically let you fly in Minecraft. All of those are one way. This is a two-way flying machine here. It's set down, press the button. Oh god, oh god. You want to stand in front of the redstone block. Like I said, you want to stand in front of the redstone block so you don't just fall off the back. And yeah, you can send it the other way too. And there it goes, just a flying machine in Minecraft. My guess is maybe they're building this stuff so they can get across the lava seas and attack the other guys that are over there. Who knows? You got another guard tower here. I think this is just like a lounge building. I'm not sure. Can't remember. But all of these buildings here are residential buildings. I tried to add some variation to them so it looks nice. You have the main sand castle here, where the prince stays. If you go in, you have his throne here. I think his servants stay here. Follow the wall around. You have just a little sitting area. You can go up on top, back down. Got a library. You gotta have a library in a castle. And I think the only other room is up here. Now this, I believe, is actually the prince's room. He does have beds here, so he is able to sleep. They just aren't showing up. And he has a little exit here into his own private part of the oasis. And of course, this is another important part, because rails are such a fundamental part of the desert. You have the big rail tower here by some sort of company that makes the rails, and it's connected right to the castle. So basically, there's a big mine over there that I'll show you. But there are two railways that go to the mine. That one there, the orange one, is for public use. But the rail company has their own private rail right here for all the supplies and ore and stuff. They drop into this station here. You can't even get into, it's locked up. They drop into there, go up this tower, over, across, into this tower. This here, I think, is just a little living area for the CEO, maybe, I don't know. But anyways, the supplies come in through here, they get smelted up, and they get dropped down to here where they're stored away. Then when they're needed, they get dropped down to here, crafted into rails, and dropped down into here where they store the final products. And down here is where the customers come in and make orders for rails. Pretty easy stuff. Let's see. I think I have various buildings for shops dotted around. Yeah, that looks like a shop in here. I know this one is a shop here on the oasis. That was bothering me. You have a station here. This building here, next to it, is, I think it was supposed to be an adventurers guild of sorts. I was going to have the main base for the adventurers guild be in the desert, so that's what that is. And last in the town is this big monument here. A big man in iron armor standing on top of a wither skull. Who knows, that might be related to the wither skull wearing individual we saw in the Underwater City Museum. Maybe there's a little bit of a rivalry between the Underwater City and the Desert City. Who knows? Only I know. Anyways, let's go ahead and follow this rail. This here is a little junction between the rails that I figured a lot of merchants would want to congregate at. So I set up a bunch of tents and stuff, and yeah, basically the idea is merchants come here, set up their wares, people come by, and they buy stuff and move on to their next destination. Pretty simple. We'll keep following the rail here, and we'll come across the main quarry site. Now, as I said, you're already seeing the buildings reused there. You got the barracks buildings, you got the station here, and you got the cantina area there. Another station building there. That's the one that all the ore supplies come into, and then they're shipped off to the rail company. This is the main office building for the quarry. You come in here, I guess you clock in here, and you head down into the mine, which is definitely against OSHA regulations. You could fall down there and die. But I don't care. I'm not going to fix it. And yeah, this is the quarry site here. You can tell I definitely used World Edit to dig it out because of all the oddly shaped circles and stuff in the side. But you have the big rail that goes down the side, ends at the bottom. You see all the ore sticking out. This here was going to be an offshoot that they were mining in. And yeah, Overall, I like it. I feel like it could be smoothed out a bit, but it's definitely getting together. What else is there? There's one more place. One more place in the desert to show off. And like I said, this wall goes around the entire desert. They are completely isolated from the rest of the world. But I mean, look where it's got them. They have all this new fancy stuff that no one else has. Over here, if you look over the wall here, you'll see a red desert. And this is kind of a reference to an old famous Minecraft series that I'm not going to name by name. You have to guess it. If you guess it in the comments, you get 10 points. But basically this is where they come to research the effects of the red sand. It seems to drive people mad, and it tries to inch its way up the walls and take over the rest of the desert. But thankfully, the wall here is stopping it for the most part. And they try and research it here, see what they can do. They have a little tunnel here that goes under the wall and into the red desert. A little test building here where I guess people would stay at for extended periods of time to see the effects. You can tell it's very, very run down. Skulls on the floor. Yeah, the experiments definitely were not successful. So I'm guessing that most of the time they just keep that tunnel closed off. And yeah, anyone who's assigned to this little outpost here probably isn't going to do too well. They don't even have real buildings for the most part. Everyone lives in tents. You have the big tent here. I guess they eat at and stuff or do all their research. I don't know. But yeah, that about does it for the desert. I'm going to go ahead and follow this wall around and show off something at the very end of it. And then I'll show you guys the one place I have that's not even built or anything in the lava seas. It's just kind of set up. I think I did start building there at one point. It was just a different world file, and I don't have that file anymore, so it's going to be barren. But it is set up, and it'll give you an idea of what's supposed to go there. But yeah, if you keep following this wall here, you see here I tried to set up a mesa biome with a world painter. It didn't work out too well. It's all flat, just different colors of clay. But you get over here, and you see the walls kind of collapsed into the lava sea. You have a completely ruined tower at the end here. I like the look of this wall here. I like how this turned out. But it almost gives you the impression that this desert used to extend further into the lava seas, and that the seas are slowly eating away at it. The other thing I wanted to play around with that I never got to is maybe making a glass beach area. Like all this sand is getting superheated from the lava and turning to glass. I don't know why I just dipped down in there, but I did. But yeah, that was an idea I had, never got around to it. But that does it for the desert. Like I said, we're going to go out to this place in the lava seas, which I know is directly this way from that tower there. So it'll be easy to find. I don't have too much stuff planned for the lava seas. I think I have these islands here, another island with a fortress tower on it. And that's about it. So it's going to be a kind of barren, deadly place. I'll have to fill it up at some point. But yeah, here we have what I call the Obsidian Isles. One big island here in the center, and a few smaller islands dotted around it. The idea is that there are 4 or 5 tribes that live on these islands, and they're always in constant war over who gets to keep the bigger island. And I think each of them is going to own one of the smaller islands. Of course, they're going to have tunnels digging down to kind of expand their territory. Some of these islands are just a little small for them. If I do a rebuild of this part of the world, I might make some of these islands a little bigger. I'll definitely have to make the center island bigger if I do that though, so we'll see. That's way down the line. But yeah, that just about does it for everything in the world. We're gonna go ahead and just fly on back to the Mage Plaza this way. And yeah, I figured it'd be cool after doing a New Vegas map tour and a Hyrule Craft tour, give you guys a little bit of a tour of my own area here, my own creative world. Now that does remind me, I was going to show you guys one more thing, the second world I have where I'm doing the rebuilds. That was more rain that had just passed through. It doesn't rain in the lava seas though, apparently. Right there you see the desert. We should be seeing the mage towers popping in any second now. There they are. And we are right back to where we began our journey. The other thing I want to do in the rebuild, I want to add more towns and stuff. Because just having the one town in each area, it doesn't seem like enough to me. How many times did I do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 on the dot. That's a lot. But yeah, that's the first world. Let's go ahead and save and quit. And go into, it's called Diseus. And I have Diseus 2.0 here. There's not too much on it. I basically world painted a big plains area and got to building on the new Grasslands town. Now you can already tell it's going to be a lot bigger. It's divided into 3 sections here, but that's not going to be it. You have the main like castle district that I've started building on. You have the castle here, which looks a lot better. You have the arena, which I definitely like the terracotta better than the wood that I had in the other one. The bleachers look a lot better. You have the temple, which I mean that last temple was garbage. I actually hand built this tree. That way it'd be a lot bigger and better. And I added different worshipping spots for the other 3 mages. So starting off, you have the green mage spot there, the blue mage, the white mage, and the red mage over here. That way they have all their worshipping spots, and it kind of fleshes out the temple a little more. And like I said, here's the library, which I started on, but didn't quite finish. I can't remember what interrupted me. But yeah, you're going to have the guard barracks there, the flower embassy right there. You'll move over here. This is going to be the merchant district with all the different shops, the bank, the inn, the tavern. And you have the residential district here with all the houses, a main office area, and a little den area. Over here is going to be where the ranch is now. This is where the stables is going to be. This is going to be the new vagrants district, where all the poor houses are. They're going to be moved outside the walls. And, of course, after I finish all the inside stuff, I'm going to world edit a big lake inn over here. And that's where the docks are going to be. It's going to be a lot bigger than the first town, and it's going to look a lot better, provided I don't get lazy on it. That might be why I stopped on the library there. I might have been just not feeling it and didn't want to get lazy. Who knows? But yeah, that just about does it for this week's Minecraft video. We're clocking in at almost an hour here, about a minute off. Overall, if I had to rate my own world, it definitely passes at a 7. I wouldn't give it a 9 because there are some lazy spots. But I mean, I think it's a solid 8, maybe a 7.5. It has its moments. I like it. Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching. This has been Nyxus Gaming, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.